Did I scare you? It has officially been a couple months since Hazbin Hotel released its first season on Amazon Prime. And man, did it leave a huge impression on everyone. I mean, Christian moms on Twitter definitely had impressions on the show, but I digress. Whenever you like it or not, you cannot deny how popular Hazbin Hotel is. It is a titan right now, and it cannot be stopped no matter what. No, but like, for real? It's one of Amazon's best performing shows, reaching new records for animation. I believe it was like Amazon's #1 show for a good while. That's super impressive. Hell, if you don't like the show, you might like the music, because so far, the soundtrack has like over 500 million listens at the time I'm recording this. I mean, I can't blame the listeners. The soundtrack has been stuck in my head rent free, especially Stay Gone and Respectless. You got it twisted. I'm not the one who needs a no attitude. I'm so sorry to my British viewers. Anyway, I know you want to hear more of my god tier singing, but let's start. Hazbin Hotel has obviously gained its fandom from the pilot show, and it was of course fully indie at the time. Now, it coming from an indie studio and now becoming a successful franchise that everyone and their mother knows now, you can't help but feel excitement for what's to come from more projects like these. Indie animation is on a rise right now. And to see this level of support for a show like this that are available for free, like HELLLO Boss and Murder Drones, it truly is such an accomplishment. But who really cares about that though, right? People are interested in talking about whether it's trash or perfect. Well, today, my beautiful gamers, I'm here to end the long-lasting war. Yes, I'm here to answer the most important question. Is Hazbin Hotel trash? I'd say no. No, it's not even close to being trash. Now, obviously, Hazbin Hotel isn't perfect, and of course it has its own flaws, but we'll be discussing that later in the video. Let's start with a summary. Hazbin Hotel, created by Visipop, is an 8-episode long season Amazon Prime show. With each episode averaging about 25 minutes, our story starts with Charlie Morningstar, who is a princess of hell herself. She is on her own goal and mission to rehabilitate demons and sinners in hell and bring them to heaven. With this, she comes up with the idea of the Hazbin Hotel with the sinners, with a crew of demons looking for a path of redemption. Along the way, though, of course, we have demons and angels alike trying to prevent that. Okay, I remember when I first saw the pilot, this show had an interesting premise. Hazbin Hotel had everyone on their knees when it first came out. The visuals were popping, the dialogue had me in tears from laughter, the character designs were cool and expressive with the animation, with the fun personalities to back it up, of course. So, naturally, people were excited to see these characters together in a hotel and progress to see what would happen at the end. Now, in the pilot, we were introduced to characters like Charlie, Alistair, Vaggie, Husk, and Nifty. Oh, and Angel. Now, that's already a lot of characters to work with, especially for a first season, but they managed in some ways with the series. But to add even more, let's call it variety, I guess, they even added more characters like Lucifer, Adam, and the V's. You see where I'm going with this? And that's not even all the characters. That is a lot to flesh out in only 8 episodes, especially since Hazbin Hotel has 2 songs per episode. This show is already short as it is, so it doesn't really leave a lot of room to breathe sometimes. That's a discussion for later, of course. Let's start with our main character, Charlie. Now, I love Charlie. Her personality in the show like this really makes her pop compared to other main characters in media. She is bright, cheerful, and some would say overly nice, especially in a place like hell. She's the daughter of the king himself, Lucifer, but later down the line we can see where she got her cheerful personality. She is smart, creative, and a little silly, so you can't help but have a soft spot for her. I think that's why people warm up to her so quickly. She's genuine and comes from the heart. That's rare to see in a place like hell, so I'm glad we get to see that contrast. It's kind of funny seeing other demons be like the worst trash in hell, and then her trying her best to like turn around something positive. I will say though, my biggest issue with Charlie is honestly not even herself, but rather the fact that sometimes when watching the show, I feel like she isn't the main character. Obviously, she has a good chunk of screen time, but due to the amount of characters, it's really hard to push the main character story style where you can follow most of her story journey. Maybe that's just a me thing though. Of course, we don't always have to focus on one main character, but I really was hoping to learn more about her rather than the people around her, if that makes sense. I, of course, won't fault the creators for the show from this. For the amount of time they had to cram everything in the first season, I'd say they truly accomplished one thing, and that's making you fall in love with all the characters. Like, you cannot deny, though, that the biggest and most popular characters are Charlie, Alistair, and Angel Dust, which honestly makes sense. For example, Alistair, my personal favorite character, is this mysterious, overpowered overlord who suspiciously wants to help Charlie for his own entertainments, as he says. He adds so much more depth to the behind the scenes, as we truly don't know the truth behind the disappearance between him and Charlie's mom 7 years ago. There's a layer of calmness to his character and control, despite the fact that Husk himself exposed that might not be the case at all. What else is going on inside that little head of his? Going to Hazbin, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to be theorizing what could be happening in the future between these characters, especially with seeing the Vox versus Alistair episode, where we'll get a little bit more context behind Alistair's past with Vox. Same with Angel Dust. I really enjoy Angel. Learning more about his character and even his flaws really grounded the show even more, plus made it really feel like we can settle down with these characters. And care a little bit more about them, of course. Now, we had hints from the pilot that he is nicer than what he presents, but honestly, it made me tear up so much when Charlie and Angel hugged at the end of episode 4. I'm still getting this in full. I want more soft moments like this, with multiple characters in the main crew, and I'm glad we got that with Angel, even if it was for a short while. Also, speaking of Angel, Hazbin Hotel is clearly not afraid of touching comfortable topics, but I'll talk about that later in the video. Now, Vaggie, being the stern but sweet girlfriend of Charlie, of course had me in shambles. They are so cute. I guess my only real complaint is, make them kiss more, please? For my sake, obviously. Is that too much to ask? Seeing an established female couple is such a rare thing to have, especially with your main character. But alas, I think they were so cute. Now, I saw some people say they were boring, but I honestly didn't think that at all. Two established girlfriends who would die for each other in an opposite attract trope, honestly, that's enough for me. I just hope that later down the line we can separate Vaggie's character from Charlie sometimes. It seems like her world revolves around Charlie, which in some ways can be sweet due to how they met in the first place. Vaggie was left but nothing with Charlie after she saved her from being outcasted from heaven, so it's kind of poetic. Still though, I really hope we go more into depth with her past as an angel in the next season. Now, Husk is a great character. We don't know much about him in his past besides the revealing fact that he was once an overlord who sold his soul to save his power from Alistair. Hello? Now that was a plot twist I was not expecting. I thought Husk was just a cool bartender, knowing he had everything at one time in his life, to now serving under Alistair really added a different perspective for both of them. And only more questions for the viewer. Innocent little nifty that totally won't kill you on sight if asked, on the other hand, is a wild card. We didn't know anything about her except the fact that she's just a cute little freak. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any different. She's just a peak of what true chaos is. And honestly, that's hilarious to me. Oh yeah, also I forgot that Lucifer was introduced into the season. First of all, let me just say, I was not expecting Lucifer to be so dorky and so cute, especially from the hints we got from the pilot. Honestly though, it makes sense, as we truly didn't know much about Charlie's family. I love the idea that Lucifer was, of course, never truly a bad guy, because of course he isn't. He just caused one sin and doomed to hell with all the other sinners. At the end of the day though, he's still just an angel. Him being so different from the other demons in hell honestly took me off guard, but I really like the choice. Apparently there's a conflict mystery between Lilith and Lucifer as to why they separated. Lilith and Lucifer. That is a tongue twister. Lilith and Lucifer. We still don't know why either, and that brings up so many questions as well as to why Charlie and Lucifer separated like they both claimed and only call like what was that, once every full moon it seemed like. They seem so similar with no real reason yet that they can't really be together. Lucifer clearly cares for his daughter, and Charlie clearly wants to build that bond with her dad. Obviously, we have Lucifer's depression and hints of Lilith separating them, but it still made no sense as to why all these years later, these two personalities would still avoid each other like this. But who knows? Maybe they'll also be revealed a little more in season 2 about them. We have the villains like the V's. They're fun and are basically the perfect evil trio, and I can't wait to see them play a more important role in the future. Hell, even Adam was fun. I hate his guts the most for sure, but honestly, him being such a massive, egotistical, narcissistic idiot made me like him as a villain even more. I said that so perfectly. There are much more characters, of course, in the show, and I can talk about them all day, but that would take too long, so let's truly talk about the show. I really enjoyed the songs, first of all. I heard that Vizzy Pop herself really wanted a Broadway type of style for the show, and I can guarantee as a theater kid, she nailed it on the head with the songs. They're all bops, and the show itself was supported by amazing visuals. You can tell they had so much passion for what they were doing. For the voice actors and the animation studio, they knocked it out in the park with the songs, and I'm so glad they managed to get it in the series despite the time it took each episode. I'm clearly not the only one who enjoys it though as well. The songs are still charting pretty high till this day on the music charts. Once again, amazing job to everyone involved in the music production of the show. Another thing I really enjoy were obviously the characters, but also the gut-wrenching feels that the show has managed to pull out of me. I'm supposed to be an emotionalist demon myself, so tell me why I'm crying in the Angel episode, plus when Charlie and her father got together again. The show does such a good job conveying serious moments so well, and I'm glad they went for a more serious storytelling type of style. It still, of course, has plenty of funny moments and is definitely not made for younger children, but I'm glad that we could really delve into more of a serious topic like SA. Oh, also, I remember I saw some discourse on Twitter saying that the show is sexualizing SA. Yeah, no, that's crazy to me that people think that in the first place. In my opinion, I think the show really showed an interesting perspective of someone who is truly addicted to mentally hurting themselves in some ways. And for some people to think that means that the character Angel does, or the staff members of the show writers, they thought that, they were sexualizing or enjoying it, truly is such an insane thing to me, at least in my opinion. And how they can't grasp how some true victims of SA deal with toxicity in their own ways. Either way, that was a short tangent, but I really enjoyed their very soft and sad moments. Whoa. I forgot someone very important. The amazing Serpentious, bro. Wait, I forgot about my boy. I'm a fake fan, bro. Cut the music. Cut the video. He's like the most important character. How could I forget the amazing Serpentious himself? No, he honestly made me laugh the most in the show. Plus cry after that unfortunate scene at the end. No, but for real, I didn't expect them to make him such a important character in the series. I thought he was going to be like a one-off villain, and that's kind of it. But they really added a great addition to the crew by adding such a sweet boy like him. Best character confirmed. Okay, anyway, enough praise. Time to trash the show! Just kidding. No, but obviously, every show has its own flaws. And honestly, the bad, in my opinion, doesn't outweigh the good. But I digress. My biggest issue with the show was obviously the pacing. 8 episodes is just not enough to flesh out a story like this with so many amazing characters and mysteries. There's no room to really settle down. For example, I really wish we had time to build back Charlie and her father's relationship a little more before they made up. Don't get me wrong, the song still hits despite my complaints, but I just know I would have been on my knees sobbing if we had more time with them to truly get to know each other more. Hell, even have more conflicts between the two of them before reaching its final conclusion, and then we get the duet song. That would be perfect. But along with pacing, I also wish there were just more moments in the hotel where they could goof off and learn about each other a little more. But they obviously couldn't waste too much time on episodes like that on building their bond between the crew properly. Another issue for a show called The Hazbin Hotel, ha ha ha, we sure didn't have a lot of chance to, I don't know, explore the hotel itself. I want to see more sinners come in the hotel and be brought into different types of rooms with multiple themes for them, you know? Designed to help the sinners in a magical way. I mean, we are in hell with some of the most powerful people here, and I feel like we just didn't have enough time to flesh out that aspect of it, despite that being a major part of the show itself, the hotel, hence the title. Another small thing that once again just comes down to time is the assumption that most people have watched this show. Honestly, if you have never watched the pilot, I fear it could be a bit more difficult to introduce new viewers on Amazon Prime to it. The pilot did such a good job in introducing the hotel and how we're here in the first place with our characters. I wish the first episode could have been a remake of the pilot. But of course, when signed with the contract, it makes things quite difficult to fit in something that you can assume most people know, because at the time of recording this, the Hazbin Hotel pilot has over 107 million views. So I can't really fault the creators for trying to find an easier way to fit all the story beats you can fit in such a small season like this. No, but we are honestly in a special time for indie animation, where studios have proven time and time again that they can tell captivating stories with beautiful visuals and characters, unlike some other major companies who have clearly declined over the past decade, but I'm not going to say any names. Disney. Love it or hate it, Hazbin Hotel has truly proven that they can care about the material they are working with and are trying their best to appease diehard fans. But also the streaming service they are working with. The fact that this used to be an indie animation and now it's just a big franchise, it really just helps other indie animations even more if you really think about it. So, can you really truly complain? I mean, you can, but come on. Let's celebrate this tremendous feat for indie animation. This is huge. Anyway, that concludes my scuff review on Hazbin Hotel. Let me know if you want more videos like this in the future, or don't. No peer pressure or anything. You better like this video or I swear to God. Anyway, bye!